lose that Malcolm Beans in the morning when you're like, dude, just shoot way back, eyes glazed again. You know, you guys are laughing every time, like, not laughing maybe, but you're like, okay, dude, your eyes are just glazed. Accept it. True. Had an awesome weekend though. I love you guys. What's happening? This morning, I don't know if I think I need more caffeine. I need to get a little more jacked up. But either way, feeling inspired, feeling the love. And I I took a couple days off because I went to some motocross racing, drove 3 hours to Freestone Motocross Park, drove 3 hours back, linked up with my best friends, Mandy and Jeremy Malott. Mandy, happy birthday. Glad we got to go to dinner. That was amazing. And you guys are the best. Can't wait to hang out at Supercross. But, um, yeah, there was a mix of things that went down this weekend that I thought was just like, the word is love. Honestly, it's straight up love, and it's like everyone's like, "Come on, bro!" Everyone's saying that. I watched a pod the other day, love, love, because it's that simple. Like, what's the opposite of love? Hate. Where does hate get you? Nowhere. Bottles up, feels uncomfortable, just doesn't sit right, and it's like then if you really break down why you're hating, like, oh yeah, it's like normally an emotional something that literally built up so much that you're mad about something that normally is not even as factual or as necessary or as needed or weight that you should carry. So, anyways, I'll tell you why. Maybe I'll reverse engineer and I'll lead to the motocross. Reverse, like, start with the end. But Sunday morning, I went to church and awesome church, just good, just everything about it was amazing. So I'm sitting next to my wife, or standing, and I see this beautiful woman to the right sitting down, and then I noticed she had her little kind of roller bag and stuff like that. And so, I know there's some homeless people that come in sometimes because the church is so welcoming. So, like in this town, small little town of Marble Falls, there are always the sisters Adrian and Jared and everyone. It's just a very welcoming church. Okay, so I look over and I gave my wife a hug and just kind of went over and just put my arm around her. And turns out got to meet her. Her name was Alice. And Alice has like I guess a tarp or little thing that goes, she's homeless. She sleeps outside and she's just smiling. I just felt a glow. And I sat there, I said, man, so I put my arm around her. She reminded me like a mom figure, right? And so we didn't even say anything. And like the worship was happening. And then afterwards, got her name, Alice, and we started talking. And she mentioned, um, she said, it breaks her heart. She's a mom. I don't even know how she, became homeless or what the circumstances. We were just sharing the love, no judgment, no nothing, not even a word said yet. So we start talking. I find out she has 20-year-old, couple kids that have moved out, and I don't know how or why or what went down, but she had a smile about her, and I'm like, man, she's just trying to find her relationship with God and just soak this up. And she just said one thing that's hurting her, that's really hard for her, is her other homeless, the friends that are out there, there's a lot of hate. And she said she's trying so hard to heal them. And I said, well, Alice, like, this is in my opinion, you're such a sweetheart, and I see you on this walk. That's hard enough as it is. I said, I just want to see you continue this walk because I can tell God has big plans for you, right? And I said, but until you heal yourself. But she said, she showed me her nails, and her nails were like kind of like, from just anxiety or stress, but she's trying so hard to help her friends because to just get them to church or get them to just breathe for a second. Once again, I can't even fathom this, right? We're talking about food on the table, heaters, air conditioning, cars, and their home and the homeless side always to me is it's hard to ever really totally comprehend something when you haven't gone through it. And so, but although I've kind of always been the nice guy traveling the world, that I seem to find people that are going through struggles or whatever, or just on the walk trying to find themselves and stuff. So anyways, we're bonding. She said, I want to heal my friend so bad. I'm just trying to get her to not hate so much. I was sitting there, I was like, geez, you go through all this stuff in life. And I understand emotions and ties and whatever the case, but when we started talking, I was just sitting there, I just try to encourage her to like take a deep breath, remind her to breathe, and I just said, I said, man, I sat next to you for many reasons, but you had such a beautiful smile. And I just said, it was really just, I could feel the energy, the positive vibes coming off you. And so I just sat down, put my arm around her. Other arm was to my left on, rubbing my back, my wife's back. And through the service. And so it was just the main takeaway from that was love, man. I said, listen, love yourself, figure out yourself. Doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to have all the answers, but as she was out there trying so hard to get, as she described it, across the water, and I guess they all have their, sections, but she wants so badly to heal her friend. I said, listen, lead by example, get yourself, finish yourself, because like she was scratching her nose and like just because the anxiety and the stress of wanting so badly to heal her friend. I mean, how much more love is that? But sometimes we feel a calling to want to help others, but really, I always, love my little words, if you think you could be the problem, you probably are. It's not necessarily a problem. It's just figuring out yourself so you can be the best version of yourself and just get that energy and just really just at least get the comfort of walking in the room knowing that you're perfect the way you are and you're going to figure these things out. So that was crazy. That hit hard, you can imagine, just because prayers for her. I mean, I'll see her again at church, and I know everyone within the church helps her out a bit, but she was just smiling. She's living outside, and I was like, man, it's been freezing here in Texas. I can't even imagine, all the elements and everything that she's going through, let alone how she even got there. But we connected because of love. I encourage her to love herself and just kind of really get that foundation. But it was cool to see her spirit, and all she wanted to do is help her friends out in the streets that are also going through a hard time. So that's how my Sunday kind of went into. I took a big nap on Sunday. Honestly, I was glazed. That's not a big enough nap apparently. But going back to, I'm excited. It's amateur month here in Texas. We got Freestone MX. We've got Oak Hill. We've got a mix of races coming up. And I drove, had flyers and a mix of stuff made. I drove with my buddy Colby 3 hours to get there, and then only was able to be there for an hour and a half. Got to hang out with my boy Chris and Tina and Julia and Brian and everybody, and racing and Nolan Cobb and Ryden crushed it. Congrats for it. I got to bond with her dog, who's always like really like kind of like questioning me every time I meet Raylan again. Dog's name's Raylan. So motocross, spreading the love. I got to see my boys Clayton and didn't get to see Ian Gaines, but love him, and he was it was just cool being back at motocross. Freezing though, man. When you're in motocross, you are dedicated. So I got to keep this one a little shorter. So between the birthday, between spreading love, I'm just sitting here on the mend trying to put PC scenes together, guys. I don't have all the answers. I'm just embracing the moment. Moments are everything. Moments create momentum, energy, love, and in this year of elections and all kinds of stuff happening, elect yourself. Focus on yourself. Give yourself the votes to win. I just made that up and it maybe made no sense, but really just like saying like, man, I believe so much in people, but it's not because I'm just like that, naive, like just, no. Truly, I know that everybody has a gift. I know everybody has the potential to live their best life, to become mended on all levels of importance of what's important to you. I'm just saying, spread the love. Spread the love is the easiest thing, but you got to spread it first internally. Get yourself pumping, get yourself feeling good. Take that deep breath, reminder to breathe, time to breathe. See, imperfection is perfection. If I talk fast, it's because I'm passionate. When I'm passionate, it's me. When I'm going, I'm going. Sometimes I'm flowing, sometimes I overlap words because my brains get a little too excited and there's not enough Malc and beans in the scenes. So on that note, I love you guys. Let's charge this week, and I can't wait to hopefully cross paths Arlington Supercross this weekend. I will be there, and I know a lot of friends are going. So anyways, excited to hug it out, hang out, hopefully, and DM me. Love you guys. Let's talk. Let's be about this. Malc and beans. Didn't stop. Oh my gosh, it did not stop.